So let's finish up question 6 of the CSEC Add Math June 2023 paper 2. So we're on part C. So based on the given stem and leaf diagram, describe the distribution of the data set for 2 marks. Okay, so let's go back up to our stem and leaf diagram from part E. Okay, so if you notice the shape of the stem and leaf, all right, so more of our values, we have our modal class interval. We have a lot of values in the 40s. All right, so if we were to just plot a curve, all right, if we were to rotate this 90 degrees anti-clockwise, then we'd notice that most of the values, okay, I think I drew that badly. Let me draw it over. Okay, would occur here, all right, which would be the 40s. So 30s, 40s, then you have 50s, 60s, and then 70s. Okay, so this, it looks like a positively skewed data distribution. Okay. And so the data is positively skewed. So let's state something else about the distribution in order to get our 2 marks. So not only is the data positively skewed, let's talk about the standard deviation, because it did tell us to find the standard deviation in part 4 of part A, and we got a value of 13.5. 13.5 is kind of high, it's more than 10, I would say. So that means large standard deviation suggests that the data is a little more spread out, because if the lowest value is 30 and the highest value is 79, that is a range of 49 marks, which is a big range, and therefore that's where we get a large standard deviation. So therefore, another point that we can state here is that the data has a relatively high standard deviation, which suggests that there is a large spread of values from the mean. So part F, your friend suggested that a bar graph or histogram could be used to represent the data. Advise your friend on which graph is the better option, giving one reason to support your answer, and that's worth 2 marks. So I think a histogram is better to represent the data, all right, because the data is already, all right, classed into these intervals, right, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. All right, so remember the difference between a bar chart and a histogram. A bar chart shows discrete data, whereas a histogram shows continuous data. And this is, even though the scores are, you are seeing it as distinct discrete values, the scores, since they are in intervals, there should be a continuous range of values. So the 30s would not just end at 37, it's actually 38, 39, even 39.9, and then you go on to 40. So I would say a histogram is better off suited to represent this data. So let's say that. So for the 2 marks, I said that the histogram is better suited to represent the data since the data set is stated as class intervals 30 to 39, 40 to 49, etc., whereas a bar graph is used to represent single data points on the x-axis.